Hello children, now today I will be continuing my video related to advanced operations on data frame. Last time we have discussed about pivoting and today I am going to discuss about sorting and aggregation. Now when I am talking about sorting, everyone must have heard this word sorting many number of times. Now what does sorting mean? Sorting means arrangements. Now these arrangements will be related to a particular column. So let's see what is sorting. Sorting, when we are talking about sorting, can be of two types, ascending and descending. So when I am talking about ascending, it means A to Z, that means from smaller to bigger, and descending, that is from Z to A, that is from the highest value to the lowest value. We all have done this a number of times, many number of times in Excel. We have used ascending and descending and the sorting of data. We all know about this, but how we are going to do it with a data frame? Now we all know that our data frames are also like spreadsheets. But the difference is that the things that we were doing through button clicks in Excel, we are doing here with commands. So for sorting in a data frame, we use the function data frame dot sort value. Sort value is a function that will be used for sorting values. Now, this function will be having number of arguments. I am writing from here because the space is ending here. First argument is by. Now, by. What does this by mean? By means here we will be writing the column names related to which, by which I want to sort my values. Then, the next option, the next argument that needs to be passed is ascending. Now, ascending. Now we know that sorting can be of two types, ascending and descending. And if I write ascending is equal to true, that means the order of arrangement will be ascending. If this I put to false, then the order of arrangement will be descending. Here in column names you will be writing different column names. So here the data type that will be used, it will be either a string, that means a name of the column, or it will be a list. What list? It will be list of column names. Now you must be thinking, why do we have a list of column names? It will be telling us that what should be the order. That means if I am writing country, then in country if I am writing comma cities. So first the sorting will be done according to the countries, and inside the country the cities that will fall will be again sorted in ascending order. Now next argument that is kind. Now this kind, there are different kinds of sorting arrangements, methods that are used, and here we will be using quick sort. Next argument that is used, it is NA position. Now what does this NA position mean? By default it is last. What does this mean, NA position? NA stands for the null values, the NaN values, the values that are not present, and that means the numbers that are not entered, they all will be arranged at last. If there are some values in the specified column that has stated for arrangement, and if there is NA or NaN values, that means not a number values, what will happen? They will be all shifted to the last or the end of the table. But if I want, I can change it to first. If I put it first, all the null values will come first and then the sorted list will appear. I hope I have made myself clear, and this is the way how we sort in Python. Now let's take the example. Children, The thing is that in your books and the PDFs that I am providing, you are having different tables or different arrangements, but here I will show you just a small example. Like for example, this is my table. Here it is written serial number, here name, here percent, and here anything. You can write city. This is my table and I am having here different values. Now for example, if I am writing this, the name of this data frame is STU, student data frame. So how will be I writing the function? The function will be written as STU dot what will be my function? The function is sort underscore values and then my argument. Now I will be writing by I want to sort these according to percent, and then inside the percent name, what will happen? So for example, and the values that I am not giving the ascending. That means by default the value of ascending is true. The data will be given in ascending form. The kind is quicksort, and the null values are at last. They are by default, they will be set to the default values. The arguments that you leave will go to the default arguments. For example, I am having name Neha, Madhu, Anna, Bina, Chitra and Dev. And the percentages are, for example, 70, 30, 89, 76, 92 and 58. These are the percentage, and cities are Jhansi, Delhi, Mumbai, Agra, then Bhopal and Hisar. This is my table. Now what will be the answer of this? First, the table will be sorted according to the percentage. So what is the first percentage? The resultant that you will be getting, that the first name, again I am writing serial number, names, percent and city. Okay, this is my table. See children, I am just trying to explain. Maybe when the school opens we will be doing it again if you are not able to do it. So first percentage that I am finding is the highest percentage, that is 92. Then the next percentage is 89. Then next let me see. Let me put two values of the same. Okay, 89, 89, then 78, 70 and 58. Now name is Chitra, then last one is Dev, Neha, then Bina and their numbers. This is serial number goes 1, and for Madhu, let it be Madhu and Chitra number 5, Dev number 6, Beena number 4. Now the difference comes for Anna and Madhu. Anna and Madhu are both having same percent. Now what should be placed? Otherwise, if I say it should be placed first Madhu and then Anna. But as I am saying, if these percentage is matching, the sorting should be on the basis of name. So first the name will come as Anna and then Beena. And the serials will be 3 and 2. I hope I have made myself clear. Is it clear to everyone? Now next I am going to talk about aggregation. Now when I am talking about aggregate, whenever I am talking about aggregate, we all think always adding up. But I know aggregation means summing up. Summing means not always adding, it means concluding. So when I want to conclude, I need to analyze data, I need to apply some aggregation method. There are number of aggregation methods like count, max, min, mean, standard deviation, then standard deviation, mean, absolute values, different things can be applied. The most common methods that are used, that are the mean method and the standard deviation method. So when I am talking about the mean, when I need to calculate mean, we use the MAD function. What is this MAD function? This MAD function basically stands for mean absolute deviation. This MAD stands for mean absolute deviation. Now first of all, let's talk about, most of the time when I start explaining a term, it's my habit that I start explaining each word and then come to the conclusion of the definition, and mostly I do it with the first word, but this time I am going to start with this last word, and there's a reason, because we will be summing up this way. So when I am talking about deviation, what does deviation means? Deviation means difference. Deviation means the extent of movement. So deviation of each element, when each element, the distance of the element, when the elements are means at a difference from the other, there's the data set. Whenever I am analyzing data, it will be on a data set, a range of values. So the difference between, the average difference between the data is known as absolute mean definition. It is the distance between each data from its mean. It is known as it is known as mean absolute deviation. So here we are using the MAD function, and this MAD function is having two arguments, XS and skip NA. XS, it will be telling either you want it for the index or you want it for the columns, and skip NA means whether you want to keep the null values or you want to skip the null values. Next important thing is the standard deviation that we are going to discuss. Now the standard deviation is used with the STD function. Aggregation that we are doing will be using the STD function. This STD function is basically means it can be directly used also. What is standard deviation? Standard deviation is this difference of the members of the data set. Now again we have to keep this in mind. It is the difference between the members of the data set from the mean of the group. Here we are finding out the mean of the deviation of the data values. Means what is the difference between each data set, and we find out the mean. It is mean absolute deviation. And what is standard deviation? Standard deviation means what is the difference between each data value and the mean of that particular group. That is known as standard deviation. Again we are using the STD function. The argument, we don't need to pass arguments with this. We know how will we be using data frame. Dot mad, and the arguments here are access and skip NA. And here we don't need, we will be just using data frame dot STD. It will be giving you standard deviation of whole of the complete data set. For example, if you want to create it only for the index part, you can write here access 0, or if you want it for the columns, you can write access 1. This is how data analysis is done through Python Pandas. Now you must be seeing, see, as I repeated number of times in my classes, class 12th CBSE syllabus, you can see it's just application of functions and knowing their parameters and arguments to be passed. You must have seen that calculating complex mathematical problems like calculating the standard deviation, the quantiles, the mean absolute deviation, variance, they are done in snips. Just single one function, specify your need, and the work is done. And that's why Pandas form a very strong tool for data analysis. From the warehouse, from the bulk of data, it can help you analyze and summarize what the data sets are pointing to. I hope you must be able to understand this. In the next video, again I am going to explain different applications and different functions related to Pandas. Thank you so much.